Hey everybody, what's going on? Russell Lease coming back to you from Confidence Pest Control. You can see I'm repping the horns today because it's January 1st. One of my, first of all, they played today, and it was I'm pretty sure I lost a couple of years off my life from that game, but it is the first, and I want to make videos whenever I can. And I was cleaning up my truck. I was trying to get organized for the new year, to be honest, and I figured, hey, this is a really good time to go ahead and make a quick video. That being said, I'm going to just show you a quick version of my truck setup, some of the things that I've got inside the cab and the things that I use. I mean, it's all pretty basic, but just I figured you might want to see. So one of the first things you'll see is I put a platform right here. I built this myself. I had a buddy help me build it. And it's easy because it's just slide in and out. There's been times whenever I needed the truck for something else, or whenever I had a bigger rig, having it on there, it makes it very, very simple to just slide out and then put right back in. I bolted those down. Like I say, all the time, I'm a minimalist, so I try to keep it nice and simple. I did clean out my truck, but usually I've got my backpack sprayer right here. During the spring and summer and even into the fall, I carry my mosquito fogger, and I put that back there. But as you can see, I got a lot of room right here. So again, I took everything out, but I usually have the fogger. I usually have my backpack sprayer in here. Over here, if you can see right here on the side, I keep my poles right there. You'll see that I've got one pole that has the web head and then another one that has a scraper, mud daubers, things like that. So sorry, my camera woman, she's learning, she's new. But I have a couple different poles. I got my dust in here, and then she's gonna show you inside real quick. If you'll just look right in there, nothing crazy. I've got my liquid. I got some Bifin XCF, some Bifin IT. I've got a Centria. I've got Teco, some Nygaard. I've got some Fast Cap in there. I've got a few different things. I like to have an arsenal of products, so I have a lot of that in there. And then on the other side, I got some aerosols over there. Nothing crazy. I mean, it's not as clean as it should be, but it does the trick. And don't worry, Department of Agriculture, I will be locking this up as soon as I'm done making the video. And then in here, I've got my spreader. I've got two different buckets. I've got some Entice and then some Bifin granules right here. And then I've even got some mesh. I'm going to be doing a lot more exclusion work. I've got some pruning shears right there. Just a few different things. Not much at all. Again, I keep everything very minimal. So that's the stuff I have in there. And then I have more stuff on the shelves that whenever I know if I'm going to be needing it that day, or if there's going to be a chance that I might need it, I'll carry some bait stations with me. I'll make sure that I have all the proper aerosols. I'll make sure I have my wasp freeze, all those things, and situation dictates. And during the, January now, you're not going to have a whole lot of wasp nest calls. So again, and mosquitoes are gone. So foggers put away, all my wasp freeze, different things like that. I put that away. But let's jump right in. As you can see, the truck is kind of empty right now. Big things coming up here in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned for all that. But inside the truck, I do try to keep it neat and organized. I'm not super organized, not nearly as much as my wife would like, I can tell you that. But I can also tell you that I don't like to have trash around here. We're in the time of year where you can leave a bottle of water in the truck and it's at perfect temperature the next day. Make sure you always have a flashlight with you. The flow zone, the good thing about the flow zone that I bought was it came with 2 batteries. So I always keep one fully charged and have the other one connected. I have the connector right here, and you can see that it actually charges right here from the truck, so I don't have to plug it in at home or anything like that. All right, over there I've got my glue boards. I've got 1, 2, there's my gloves. Again, I don't want to keep any product in my truck. I just, I try to keep it organized. My son does come to work with me. We flip that seat down, and he's good to go. I also make sure that you must-haves for your truck. Make sure you always have a toolbox. Very, very basic. It's got your screwdriver, all your bits, smaller screwdriver, some pliers, hammer. I've got a tape measure somewhere around here. And then I've also got a few more tools right here on the side. You can see crescent wrench, things like that, because you're going to need that stuff. There's going to be times when your backpack might start leaking, something like that. So make sure you have crescent wrench with you, tighten everything up that you need, and you're good to go. One thing that I will say that I'm really excited, my wife got this for Christmas. I have my own list on Amazon for confidence stuff. It is a trash bag, or a trash can, I'm sorry. I know we've all seen it a million times where you look at a technician's truck and it's just filthy. It might look like Michael Scott's car with all the Filet-O-Fishes on the floorboard or something like that. And that's a no-go for me. That's one of the last things I want, is to have a messy truck. I can handle dirt, grass, all the things like that, but bottles and trash wrappers all over that. I usually keep like a store bag with me, convenience store, and I'll trash that. I'll at the end of the day, I'll bag it all up and trash it. But again, I've got my handy dandy trash can, and so it goes right in there. Trash bag's already in there, magnet is in there, so keeps the trash bag up. It's just really, really awesome. I'm excited, and I'm really I'm excited to use it. I know that sounds weird, but all you guys in the pest control industry, especially technicians, you owners, you can relate. I know you can. And so yeah, that's definitely something you want to have. Always make sure you have flashlights, extra flashlights. I personally have these. You can see that it's dying, but the good thing about the flashlight that I use is it's not battery, it's rechargeable, so that makes it really, really simple for me. Let's see, keeping it simple, make sure one thing that I recommend is having your tray for inside the truck. We're blue collar guys, and so there's going to be those days when you just swing by, some fast food, or maybe, you bring your lunch instead of sitting there trying to figure out how to eat it in your truck without making a mess. I have the tray right there. You see my phone holder, I'll turn it to the side. I'll watch Sports Center, or something else, and I'll make sure that, I'm just good to go. So my quick lunch is always nice and comfortable and just really enjoyable. Another thing that I recommend you always have is multiple hats. You're going to have your work hat. I've got another hat over there. But you see this one, it's a little bit dirty, and this is the one that I work in. I found that white is not as dirty as people might think. So that's why I'm starting to go with the white hats. But we are going to be sweating, especially during the summertime whenever we're out here working. It's hot. If you're in some of these other states where it gets really hot, then you know that you need to have a second hat, because as the business owner, we're quite literally wearing all the hats, but we're also, figuratively wearing all those hats. And so, yeah, you're going to be doing a service. You're going to be out there sweating, making sure that a home is good to go. You might have to get into crawl space, whatever the case may be. You're going to be dirty, and that's fine. We're blue collar guys, and this is dirty work. So you have that hat, you have your dirty shirt, all that. But right after that, you might have a brand new initial service for a new customer, or a customer called and wants an inspection. Anything, you might have another customer interaction, and the last thing you want to do is show up to that house looking like ass. I mean, let's just call it what it is. So I always make sure that my shirts are tucked in. The ones that should be tucked in, they're always wrinkle free, and always make sure I have a nice clean dry hat so that I look very presentable to the customer. I look professional, and take yourself serious, the customer will take you serious as well. So that's my thing on that. I'll always make sure you have an extra uniform in the truck. That extra hat goes a long way. And then real quick, I've got a box of cards right there, and I want to point one thing out to you guys real quick, and it's my card. You can see it, nothing too crazy. I designed it myself. I went in, I made this. But one of the things that the people actually, that they really love is the back of my card. and it's just a family photo of me and my beautiful family. I'm very proud of them. They are my, she's my wife is my rock, and my family is everything to me. So I absolutely want to show them off. And the one of the beneficial things that I found is women really, really love that. They see that I'm a family man. I'm not, it's all those little things, it's everything, looking professional, looking the part, talking the part. And then whenever they see that card and they see, my wife and my kids, and they see that I'm a family man, I'm able to earn their trust that much easier. And it just goes a long way. They see that. I've dropped it off to mom groups, and it's been a big hit. They see the pictures and they say, hey, you have a beautiful family. And I'm very thankful. I'm very blessed, and I do. But again, they see that, and for them, it just it kind of drops the guard in their mind, because they know that they have somebody that is a family man that they can relate, because I'm trying to take care of their kids and their family and things like that. So that card is a big deal. It's helped. It's gotten me a lot of business. I mean, you'd be surprised. But again, it's all those little things that add up. Other than that, I keep my sunglasses in there, eye protection. But as I said before, and I say it all the time, I like to have everything very minimal. If I don't need to have it, then I don't have it. And follow me over here real quick, just because we're on the subject, and you can, see some of this stuff. I keep different things over here. My backpack, I got a few different spreaders, my mosquito fogger. I was cleaning my garage. That's whiskey glasses. That's not related to pest control, don't worry. And then one thing that I want to point out is having a measuring wheel. Tools of the trade, you see some of the inside tools, but having a measuring wheel, that's just a quick bonus for you guys, because I helped a buddy out not too long ago, and when we went to go measure out the home, he started stepping it off. Nothing wrong with that. You got to do what you got to do, but just think about it from the customer's perspective. Maybe they're getting 2 or 3 bids, and you got one guy that shows up, untucked shirt, or wrinkled shirt, dirty hat, whatever the case may be, and then he starts stepping off to count the linear foot of the home. Well, then you got another guy who shows up, professional, shirt tucked in, nice, clean, ironed, or at least wrinkle free, clean hat, he's good to go. And he has a measuring wheel, so he can give you the exact measurement of that home. It's the little things like that, like I say, they're going to appreciate that. And I tell you personally, I'm going to go with the person who, quite frankly, looks like they know what they're doing. So not to say that anybody who does that doesn't, or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that. All I'm trying to say is that, perception is reality, and your image is everything, and especially those first impressions. So you show up to do a termite treatment or a termite inspection, you show up, you look the part, and you have that measuring wheel to make sure that, you're professional. Hey, even though you're a one-man show, you can do the same thing that the Orkins and the Terminexes of the world can do. So having that is a big deal. We're using all the same tools, mosquito foggers, spreaders, all the things like that. So, you just want to look the part. One last thing that will also make a big impression for customers, because it really blows my mind that how often I run into it, and it's something new to them. Make sure you wear your shoe booties, your covers. I come across it way more times than I would like to admit, where people talk about how the last company they used didn't use those shoe covers, and people lose customers because they track mud and dirt into their home. They want a clean home, and the last thing you want to do is be the reason for the nastiness and for the dirt and the grass and things like that in their home. So you can even go back to see some of the reviews, and where the customers review review the service and leave me a positive Google review. And one of the big things the biggest things they loved was that I wore the shoe covers. So take that into account. Wear them. I mean, you're gonna look that much better. The customer's gonna appreciate it, and it's just, it's one more of those little things. And if you do all the little things right, or enough of the little things right, you're gonna do really, really well. The customer's gonna appreciate all those little things that you do, like taking down the wasp nest, but having the scraper to completely scrape it all off. you know, by measuring the home without, you know, just counting 1, 2, 3, but actually using a measuring wheel to measure the home. Whenever you have to go inside, making sure that your B&G, because I've had that happen to me before, you know, where my B&G was leaking and I didn't have a crescent wrench on me that day, and I learned my lesson. I said, all right, well, moving forward, I will always have that crescent wrench on me, because the last thing you want to do is spray around the house or the baseboards or treat somewhere, but then you're just, you know, kind of dripping liquid all around the home because it's not tightened or whatever the case may be. So having those tools to make sure that you're good to go, having the measuring wheel to make sure that you're measuring right, having the shoe covers to make sure you look good, making sure your truck is clean. You know, maybe a customer comes up to you at your truck, you know, because that happens to me as well. You know, you're sitting in your truck and a neighbor walks up and says, hey, you know, do you have a business card or something? If they look into your truck and they see a bunch of filet o fishes, you know, all over the place, and, you know, maybe they'll just say, hey, you know, and then walk away before you can even give them that business card. And then making sure have a nice, good business card to present. Things like that, you know, that's gonna set you apart from all the others, because believe it or not, there's a dozen pest control companies within maybe a 5 to 10 mile radius of me, and it blows my mind on how many aren't doing these little things like that. So I don't know. That's my take on it. That's the way. Those are some of the ways that I set myself apart, as well as some of the setup for my truck. Hopefully you found some, you know, golden nuggets of wisdom in here. If you did, you know, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that share button. It's going to go a long way. Like I said in the last video, we got a lot of big things coming in 2025. So I hope you continue to watch. And if there's anything that you guys would like to hear about personally, any videos that you would like me to make, you know, drop it in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get to that and make something like that just specifically for whatever it is. So until then, you know, as always, keep grinding, have a happy new year, and stay confident. Take care.